Almost immediately when Joe Biden was inaugurated on January 20th, 2021 at noon, Republicans began a concerted effort to paint him as addled and unable to do the job due to the ravages of age upon his brain. Anytime that there was a misstep, they tripped up the stairs at Air Force One, a thing Donald Trump has done even this term multiple times, they painted it as though he was unable to do his job. Now, I have been someone who has been pretty earnest and open about the challenges that faced Joe Biden because of his age. Being the oldest man to ever hold the job as president of the United States. Anybody who's 80 is a little slower, right? But was he unable to do the job? No. Did he absolutely shit the bed on June 27th during the debate with Donald Trump? Yes. It was a terrible debate performance. But just as I'm unable to get the words out right now, sometimes it happens, whether you're 80 or you're 50. And these questions persisted the entire time he was president of the United States. Oddly enough, the media isn't asking the same questions about Donald Trump, who can't even keep his fucking eyes open during meetings with his high-level cabinet officials. Yesterday, during one of these roundtable discussions, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. talked and Dr. Oz talked, all of these grifters, all of these charlatans, all of these people who enrich themselves off the backs of people who only want to live a healthier life and who are paranoid about the system and about establishment medicine and traditional medicine and all of this nonsense. Dr. Oz has made millions grifting from his TV shows. RFK has made millions grifting from kickbacks from law firms who sue companies. And while they're talking, Donald Trump, as soon as he gets done talking, begins his, takes a little nap while they talk on camera, unable to keep his eyes open, unable to keep his eyes open. He's not choosing to take a nap. His body is shutting down because he's too old and feeble to keep his eyes open, to stay awake during the day, early in the day. And yet, crickets from the media. Crickets from Jake Tapper, who enriched himself writing a book about the dangers that faced America when Joe Biden was unable to do his job. What are we doing here? Anyway, so here, I'm going to play two clips for you and really focus in on Donald Trump. Don't listen to the words that are being spoken because they're immaterial. It has nothing to do with what we're watching here. Just watch Donald Trump. He's unable to be president of the United States. At the very least, he's unable to participate in policy meetings. But the media, again, nowhere to be found. Watch this, and then we'll move on to him and Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
And the wonderful work of Amy Brandt, who has a fraud war room using this kind of technology, because we'll know who you are and who your doctor is, so we can block this. We're going to have remarkable advances in how consumers can use their own records. We'll have beneficiaries be able to get MAHA advice and prevention tips and even be able to nudge them and reward them perhaps for that. And all this comes back to one fundamental issue, Mr. President, which is leadership. I think 60 people, the biggest, the best, the willing, came forward because of your leadership, because you weren't going to take no for an answer, and they know it. We are building a robust and safe, I emphasize that, safe system. It's going to protect the data better than we could have imagined. We're going to be able to accomplish goals that all of us wished from day one that would be in place. These pledges are now confirmed. They're signed in public. You have therefore empowered Americans to own their property, which is their medical records. Let me introduce Amy Gleason. She is acting director of DOGE, U.S. Digital Service as well, and was actually the brilliant woman who pulled together the pieces of this puzzle with so many members of the audience.
You know, something I just noticed rewatching that clip is, you know, Dr. Oz for a long time, he's one of these cowards who can't just be gray. He went gray and had to keep dyeing his hair. He can't just be who he is. He's one of these types. But I've noticed he's let his hair go lighter. Just asking questions. And really, I'm just asking questions. I would love your... Do you think this is because he wants to be perceived as even kind of looking like Trump? You know, these people who all wear the same stupid red tie and blue suit to look like Donald Trump. It's not stupid because it's red and blue. It's stupid because they're imitating the dear leader. It's like a uniform. Is Dr. Oz taking this to the next level with the blondish, grayish piss mop? I don't know. I wouldn't put it past him, though. But is this not alarming? For me, it's more alarming. It's not alarming that a nearly 80-year-old man falls asleep during the day and takes little cat naps. It happens. But it's the juxtaposition about how it's being dealt with and talked about in the public with the media. That's the problem. The other problem lies in the fact that Donald Trump is a liar. Republicans are liars because just like I just acknowledged, it's not a big deal if an old man falls asleep for a little bit. It's more of a problem when he's president of the United States, but still not a grave issue. It's the fact that Republicans play politics with it. Republicans want it both ways. Watch him. And like I said, he spoke at the beginning of this thing for, 8-10 minutes or so. He tossed it to RFK, who began to speak. And it only a matter of minutes, mere seconds, Donald Trump began dozing off. Watch him here, again, unable to keep his eyes open, while his Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., gives his fucking unlistenable screed.
The Australian health system, and they revolutionized and they vastly improved health in Australia. And he said the single thing that he did that was most important to that transformation was the transparency that occurs when people control their own health records. Because it gives people the choice over their own health decisions and over their own lives, and it gives them a sense of responsibility and allows them to measure the interventions if they change their diet, if they change their exercise. It can show you how many steps you took today. It can tell you if your glucose is spiking. And all of that information will now be available to American citizens.
To be fair, I don't like to be conscious when RFK is speaking either. But I will say this, you got to be real sleepy to be able to nod off while that grating voice is going off right next to you. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is here. At some point, the media is going to have to start waking up because we're going to come to a time when Donald Trump is literally incapacitated, unable to do the job, and Republicans are going to cover for him. And if the media is in the habit of covering for Donald Trump by virtue of not asking these questions, we're going to be in a real dangerous spot. Another Woodrow Wilson situation where he's had a stroke and in a coma in his bedroom, and the first lady's actually running the country. That happened. And we're in a far more precarious situation as a nation than we were then. Anyway, what do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me as always daily at dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you on this. Please comment on this video, click the like button, share this video if you feel inclined, and make sure you're subscribed. All of these go a long way to supporting this work. There's some weird analytic stuff going on that I'm not yet ready to talk about. I'm going to wait for, maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow. Like serious. I'm giving YouTube a chance to catch up and figure out what they're doing, but I don't know if shadow bans, I don't know. I'm going to talk to some other creators. Maybe I'll get on the phone today with Pacman and see if the same thing's happening to him, but pretty alarming. But yet again, we'll see. I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another.